The Charlotte Hornets have been struggling real bad recently, and they have one of the worst records in the NBA. But I don't feel like we are as bad as our record says. The Hornets are really just one move away from being a top contending team in the Eastern Conference. What's going on, Hornets fans? This is Hornets Culture back at it again with another YouTube video. And in today's video, we're going to be going over 5 mock trades that I think the Hornets should do as soon as possible. I feel like LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller should be the only untouchable players on this Hornets roster. Everybody else is up for grabs. The Hornets need to start listening to other teams around the league about potential trades. We are wasting LaMelo Ball's prime years as a Charlotte Hornet, and if we don't do something about it soon, he is going to want out of Charlotte. Now, this first mock trade would definitely keep our star player happy. It is bringing in the oldest Ball brother, Lonzo Ball, to the Charlotte Hornets in a package deal that would send Vasa Micic, Cody Martin, and the Hornets' 2029 second-round pick to Chicago. The Bulls have made it known around the league that they are willing to trade Lonzo Ball. It is time to make LeVar Ball's biggest dream come true. If you forget the fact that they are brothers and all the cool fantasy talk that comes along with that, I think they would play really well off of each other. Lonzo is the perfect partner alongside LaMelo in the backcourt. He is a great team player, lockdown defender, and knows how to play off the ball and knock down threes, which the Hornets desperately need. I personally feel like Lonzo has one of the best basketball IQs in the entire league, and his passing ability is truly insane. The Hornets are missing the piece, and that piece might be Lonzo Ball. He could come off the bench and help the bench unit, or he could start on some nights. Bringing in Lonzo would take a lot of defensive pressure off of guys like, obviously, LaMelo, but Trey Mann as well. And I think the biggest thing about this is Lonzo knows how to run an offense. Like, I'm not even joking. I feel like Micic sometimes has no idea what he is doing out on the court. I feel like the Hornets got to find a way to get rid of Micic, one way or another. But a huge thing that Lonzo would bring to this team is locker room presence. I feel like Lonzo could really help with the development of some young guys like KJ Simpson, Nick Smith Jr., and Trey Mann as well. The chemistry these brothers would have with one another on an NBA court would be so much fun to watch. We have seen them play on the same team before, back in 2016 on Chino Hills, when they went undefeated and won the state championship. They were considered to be one of the greatest high school teams of all time, so you know NBA fans would love to see this go down. The only thing that I wouldn't like about this trade is that both of these guys have constantly been injured their whole careers. Lonzo was injured a bunch in New Orleans, obviously Chicago, he missed like 2 years, and LA as well. And LaMelo has been injured pretty much every single season since his Rookie of the Year. So I think the logistics of this trade would be great. But other than that, I think the only downside is the injuries. This next mock trade might be a little controversial and a lot of fans might not like it, but it is sending Zion Williamson to the Hornets. The Pelicans would receive Miles Bridges, Seth Curry, and the Hornets' 2027 first-round pick. I don't see why the Hornets wouldn't take a gamble on a guy like Zion. He's literally a better version of Miles Bridges. There is so much talent and potential still there. We are talking about a former #1 overall pick who is said to be the most hyped prospect since LeBron James entering the draft. Zion is a Carolina boy. Bring him home. He was born in Salisbury, North Carolina, and went to college at Duke University. People forget that he's still only 24 years old. Even though Zion is injury prone, I think he is worth the risk, and the Hornets should definitely do it. So far this season, Zion has been averaging 22 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 block per game. LaMelo is a playmaking machine, and you put him with Zion, who is such a downhill force, and options around him like Josh Green, Grant Williams, and Brandon Miller would make this Hornets team very scary for seasons to come. The Hornets would take this risk and make this trade in hopes of a better injury outcome from Zion. New Orleans would also get a shooter in Seth Curry in this deal, and they just made it notable to the NBA that they are willing to trade CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, and obviously Zion as well. So if the Hornets put this offer on the table, would New Orleans really have to say no to this if they're trying to blow it up and get draft picks and be good in the future? They're not going to be good now. They're one of the worst teams in the Western Conference, and they're clearly trying to rebuild. Also, that 2027 first-round pick could have really worked out well in the Pelicans' favor. This next mock trade is a 3-team deal that would send Michael Porter Jr. to the Hornets. The teams in this deal are the Nuggets, Bulls, and Hornets. The Nuggets would receive a star in Zach LaVine to pair up alongside Nikola Jokic to make sure his MVP prime years are not being wasted away with no team success. The Chicago Bulls would receive a massive haul that includes them getting Miles Bridges and Daquan Jeffries from the Hornets, young power forward Zeke Naji from the Nuggets, the Hornets' 2025, 2026, and 2027 second-round picks, and the Nuggets' 2026 first-round pick. MPJ being a 6'10 sniper from deep and an amazing rebounder is something the Hornets could really use. I would absolutely hate to see the Hornets have to give up their second round picks for the next 3 years. Even though second round picks are known for being so hit or miss, I think the Hornets might want to keep them around for the future, but they would have to give them up to make this deal work. The Bulls would definitely benefit from this trade because they are trying to rebuild, and they are getting a ton of pieces and picks. I feel like the Nuggets would become title favorites again if they had Zach LaVine on their squad. Comment down below which team you think would win this 3-team trade. Cody Martin is one of the most inconsistent players on the Hornets, and I think it's time to let him go. In this proposed mock trade, I have the Hornets receiving Pat Connaughton and the Bucks' 2031 second round pick, and the Hornets would trade Cody Martin and their 2025 second round pick. This would help out the Bucks a lot because they don't have a 2025 second round pick at all. Getting rid of Cody and his defense would be tough though, but offensively he has just not been there at all this season. I think Pat Connaughton would be the perfect replacement for Cody Martin. Cody Martin is and has been one of the best defensive players on the Charlotte Hornets roster since the day he started getting serious NBA minutes. You can get excited about his on-ball defense and the value he brings on that end of the floor, but one of his big problems is his ability to stay healthy. He missed a good chunk of the last couple of seasons in Charlotte, 101 games to be exact, with a knee and quad injury. This is a great opportunity to move on from an injury-prone player on your roster. I really like Pat Connaughton's game. I think he's a really good shooter and a great competitor. Getting rid of Cody might be a great step in the right direction for the Hornets franchise. I'm not saying this is the move that would push us over the top. I'm saying that I feel like Pat Connaughton would contribute more to the Hornets' future than Cody Martin would be able to. This last mock trade is sending Sharpe from the Nets to the Hornets. Sharpe is a 6'9 big man in his 4th season in the NBA. The Hornets would be giving up Seth Curry and their 2025 and 2029 second round picks. Sharpe has gotten better and better every year of his career. He's a very explosive and physical player that is nasty on the defensive end. Sharpe's basketball IQ on the defensive end helps him get a lot of steals and big time blocks. Currently averaging 7 points and 5 rebounds, he could get a lot of minutes on this current Hornets roster. He would also get a lot of rebounds, which the Hornets really need. With big man Mark Williams and Nick Richards constantly being injured, he would thrive as a Hornet. As for the Nets, they lost a ton of draft picks in the Kyrie, KD, and Harden era. So these second round picks that the Hornets would give up could go a long way. You would have to give up Seth Curry to make the contracts work for both sides. But I don't feel like the Nets would say no to this deal. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Hornets Culture. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube as well. Comment down below which one of these trades you would like to see happen the most. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Culture is out.